Let's see if we got that correct. Oh, oh.
The Squirtle.
And hello to everyone just joining us, and welcome everybody in to game number 3 between Team STL and Vicious and Delicious. We're currently tied up at 1 game apiece. STL took game number 1, commanding almost a perfect game. Honestly, they were 2 kills shy of a perfect game. And then in game number 2, Vicious and Delicious struck back, countering an early invade, getting the snowball rolling early, and then finishing it off with a pentakill from Maltix, who was playing Jinx that game. So welcome in to Summoner's Rift for game number 3. On the blue side will be... Oh, they didn't switch sides. Oh no! There we go. Perfect. No one saw anything. On the blue side is Vicious and Delicious. And they're going to invade again, but a slightly different path this time. But it's warded again, and GG lands the resonating strike. And the cleaver. So a little bit of traded damage back and forth. Will this be the binding too? The binding actually misses on Poppy, but the volley doesn't. So traded damage back and forth. Back to team introductions. On the blue side... for Vicious and Delicious, Seriously Lucky will be playing Yorick this game in the top lane. In the jungle, Sandora on the Dr. Mundo. In mid lane, Crispy bot laner playing Ari, who's not a bot laner this game. I feel bad that I've pointed that out every game. It's getting less and less funny. Maltix and Bad Wolf will be playing Ash Morgana. On the top side of the map, it's Team STL. God will be manning the Gnar. In the jungle, it's GG on Lee Sin, Jonesy in mid, piloting the Syndra, and Jinx and Tom Kench in the bot lane being played by Wing Nation and Poppy.
I laugh every time. That's gonna count for something.
Pretty standard jungle starts across the board, and we'll have to see where the early pressure goes. We've seen GG attempt some early ganks in both games. Very successful in game 1, not as successful in game number 2. And God is using that really cute white pajama Gnar chroma, and I really appreciate that. And I hope that he knows that. Yeah, Ari versus Syndra is a very interesting... Honestly, all of these lanes are pretty interesting. I think, given what we saw last game, late game definitely does favor STL's composition, but we saw a lot of really nice moves in mid-game from Vicious and Delicious. Now with both buffs being taken, Lee Sin, of course, the more aggressive jungler than Dr. Mundo is, and we'll have to see both of them pathing toward top side, maybe a collision of the junglers up there, or maybe heading toward mid. It's really up in the air at this point, but a little bit quieter game than we saw last game, where the game kind of exploded right off the bat with an invade and a counter invade and a counter invade, and now God gets Mega Gnar, does land the W, stun coming in, taken really low. The house almost finishes him off, but is Seriously Lucky going to get off with just the flash. Crispy and Jonesy trading in mid lane, a little bit in favor of the Syndra in this case, but ooh, a nice resonating strike from GG just out of vision. Gonna land onto Crispy. Lands, misses the charm, does ignite GG. Coming down under tower, the tower shot flashed away from by GG. But both summoner spells burn for Crispy, and now GG will have an opportunity before too long where he can try to capitalize on these missing summoner spells. God and Jonesy both still have theirs, so we could start to see this early pressure snowball into some kills, but right now it doesn't feel super worth it. Nothing in the pocketbooks so far for any of the STL players off of the ganks. Wing Nation eating a lot of harass there in exchange for just a handful of CS. With good stun by Jonesy, gonna land everything. The auto attack gonna finish off, And Jonesy picks up first blood on the solo kill in mid. That's all thanks to GG ganking. Burning those early summoner spells meant that Ari didn't have as much ability to trade back there. And it makes it look pretty easy, honestly. You just drop the minion on him. God getting Mega Gnar again, going aggressive. Are we going to see the same thing play out in bot lane? Sundora coming around looking for a gank. He's going to be able to get that blast cone. Resonating Strike follows through, and GG's going to pick up the kill. Flash through from God, going to pick up a kill as well. Dark Binding over the wall, but Poppy's going to pick him up with the Devour and spit GG right back out. And it's a 3-0 lead right off the bat for Team STL, and that's... I can't stress enough how much the early pathing from GG, able to set up the kills in mid and top, and then in bot lane able to land that Resonating Strike and travel over with the Blast Cone in order to pick up the kill as well. Maybe not the best time invade from Sundora. Maltic's looking to get a little bit aggressive. Every summoner spell still available for all of the bot laners right now, so none of them are feeling particularly pressured. Winged is taken a little bit low, but for right now, it just means a little bit of wave control for the Ashe Morgana combo. We see it's only translated to about a, well, it's not really a 4CS lead because the Relic Shield, so it's not really translating to much so far. But now second waves of buffs start to spawn. GG and Sundora both path toward topside. Again, if we see a repeat of what happened last time, GG could really get the snowball going for STL. So it's going to be up to Sundora to maybe get some vision out, maybe try to counter gank here. And Lucky and Sundora have met up at the Scuttle Crab. Going to bully it into submission. Off screen, I could show what they're doing. And blue ping's going out on the blue buff. They're going to walk in and get some vision. So it looks like Vicious and Delicious trying to set something up here. They have vision now in the top river and at the blue buff, so they should have a better idea of where GG is pathing. A little bit of safety, and they might be able to make an aggressive play, especially with Maltix's level 6 coming up on that Ashe. Decent trade for Lucky, although the range on the mini Gnar pretty annoying. And now Crispy gets the charm onto Jonesy, gonna take a big chunk out of him. If he's able to do that again, we might see that kill confirmed. But we see that vision being pushed in by Vicious and Delicious, but STL not really responding in kind. Their wards were all on their side of the river, and honestly right now they only have a single pink ward out, and the map looks a little bit dark. Plus having that hawk shot from Ashe, now they know where GG is. They can keep a really good eye on him if they're able to time the hawk shots up with their own vision. So we might see a little bit of that safety coming through. They do trail by 1,000 gold. But I like what they're doing in terms of their vision. We've seen a drastic improvement from game 1 to game 3 now. Mega Gnar comes out, the Gnar back into the turret. Lucky takes a little bit of damage. GG's going to kick him in. Resonating Strike connects. Flash away. The house connects. Slowed up. The shovel going to gain back a little bit of health for Lucky. Red buff ticking on him. Word for the ward jump that doesn't happen comes down, and Lucky's actually going to escape. Really nice escape from him, able to get just that little bit of health back from the Q and keep himself alive. Good charm from Crispy to prevent the all-in from Jonesy. He's got the ultimate available, the pummeling of the balls. I don't think that's the official name. The Unleashed Power from Syndra might have been able to connect and end that. Jonesy burns Cleanse to walk away. I didn't see if it was a charm that connected or a cleaver, but Jonesy burns Cleanse and Flash. Off screen. Thank you, Directed Camera, for not showing that. But Crispy's very low and is forced to recall, and now Gnar's coming in for STL, and they're going to have a nice 3-man push on mid lane. This is in full vision, and there's just not much the Vicious and Delicious can do. They even spot out Dr. Mundo on the rotation. They've taken that very low. I don't think they're going to be able to quite finish it off unless they can push this minion away very, very quickly. But I really like the idea. God shoved in top lane. He didn't need to continue to be there. And able to walk mid, take 3/4, a little bit more health out of the mid tower. If they can get that mid tower, that's going to really open up the map for them and allow them to make the aggressive plays that they've liked so far. Bad Wolf is wandering in. They're trying to confirm something onto Wing Nation, but he's going to get devoured up. GG is here, going to kick away Ashe. Bad Wolf is stunned up by the Tungening, and he's going to go down. Poppy secures the kill. Maltix is being forced away by GG. The Super Death Rocket does connect, but not going to finish him off, but does force him back off of the tower. Ooh, Resonating Strike lands on Crispy. GG not going to take the Lee Syndrome. And Sandora files back in. So 2 full health members here for Vicious and Delicious to try to repel against the 3 relatively lower health members of STL. And we're going to see them back off. 1,500 gold lead now. Starting to stretch out a little bit for STL. God comes in, he's got the Mega Gnar up. Lands the stun. Jonesy's going to come in. Unleashed Power going to pick up the kill in mid lane. Back to top lane. The Gnar's already been used. Lucky is taken pretty low. The Maiden of the Mist is doing quite a bit of damage to God, but he's going to be able... Flashes in for the wallop, but misses it. Aziriously still hanging on. Lands the Mist. I couldn't think of it. I want to call it like Pulsing Mist. That sounds really gross, though, and probably not correct. But God's going to be forced back off of the turret, and Lucky's going to get the better of that trade. It was a tense situation in top lane. Meanwhile, we did see the Earth Dragon get picked up. The Rocky Boy going over to STL. And Lucky really needs to... He's done well so far in this top lane, especially against a matchup that God got to counterpick. Poppy brings in GG, and Bad Wolf tries to Black Shield himself and get out to safety. Ash Arrow connects, but it's not going to matter as GG confirms the kill. Up to 2-0-1 now. I'm looking pretty strong on that Lee Sin. Zerat Portal, the first item coming through for Lucky, and he's going to have to really make that count. He's the member with the big lead right now. Mundo has a big CS lead over Lee Sin, but that is hard to translate into anything, especially considering it's jungle CS and he's behind kills. So we really have to look on Lucky to try to stabilize this game, maybe get a couple towers knocked down with this Zerat Portal, or help secure maybe the Rift Herald for some further pushing. First tower did go down mid while we were pulled away from everything, as Jonesy took that down. And it's a 3,000 gold lead, and this looks like the play that they're banking on as Sandora and Lucky start up the Rift Herald. God is in the area. This isn't a particularly low Rift Herald yet. He pings missing, but I don't know that he suspects that they're on the Herald, or maybe he does and just knows that they can't contest because GG's in the bot lane. But regardless, this looks like it's going to be a nice Herald take. So now they have a lot of pushing tools. They need to try to translate this into a couple of towers to try to get back in the game, because now it's a 3,000 gold lead, and Wing Nation on the Jinx starting to get into that, going up, not able to connect onto God, able to get away. Ooh, flash in. The Cleaver lands. God's taken very low, and Lucky's going to pick up the kill. First kill of the game going over to Vicious and Delicious, but the 4-man push on the bot side is going to clean up a tower in exchange. Rift Herald and the Zerat Portal both popped. This is gonna have to be a pretty Herculean push for Vicious and Delicious. They really need 2 towers out of this, but all 4 members of STL have backed from the bot lane and are headed toward top. So I don't know that they're going to be able to secure too much, even with this gigantic investment. There are 3 people here for Vicious and Delicious. No ability for anybody to join them as Ashe and Morgana are on the bot side of the map. They may be able to get that bot tower, though. If this is misplayed a little bit. Rift Herald's going to go down. They got a good chunk out of that bot lane turret. If they can follow this up with maybe the next Zerat Portal, we could see at least the possibility. They're trying to get the tools to get the gold back in order. God is in bot lane, going to show up and at least slow up the push. Yeah, Maltix actually doesn't win that trade in any circumstance against Gnar. And I like the variation. We've seen the AD carries really opt for damage. God's going to go in. He's almost got the Mega Gnar. He's just getting the hyper stacks down onto Maltix. Gets stunned up right as he gets into Mega, taken very low. The walk-in, Jonesy's going to clean him up with the Scatter the Weak. Ooh, bad. The Super Death Rocket just misses, but Jonesy's going to get the double kill. Kick out now from Lucky, going to get him away from the turret. He flashes back in. Sundora's here, has the regen on. Tom Kencha's going to eat him, and Poppy's going to get the kill as they're diving tower. Second kill picked up for Wing Nation. Now the push coming in on the top side. This is both teams looking strong on their macro, but STL just one step ahead, able to get the 2v2 win in bot lane, able to 3-man dive top, and not even lose their mid tower, even much damage on it in exchange. It's just a solid macro victory so far for STL. Crispy's taken pretty low off of the zap, misses the charm as he comes through. They get stunned up on the flame choppers. And he's going to be forced to use the rest of the ult to go away. Maltix, ooh! Gigi's going to connect the Resonating Strike and actually finish him off. Has enough damage to do that. Gigi's still looking for more. He's hanging around. Safeguards back to Poppy. Wing Nation still firing away on the Jinx. Maltix is taken low. Poppy devours Gigi. They're still looking to fight. 5 men now here. God is going to get Mega Gnar. Hits the wall up. Sundora's taken pretty low. Gigi gets stunned up under turret. With the double kill as Jonesy comes around on the side. Going to hit the Scatter of the Week, and an easy triple kill picked up for STL Jonesy. He's up to 7-0 on that Syndra. And now the inhibitor turret under fire as well. The flame chompers behind the turret going to lock up Lucky as soon as he teleports into the inhibitor turret to die. Crispy is going to attempt to get a kill on Poppy, but going to be foiled for now. And God is just throwing these boomerangs. They always come back, and they always... I don't know. That was going to be really clever, and then it wasn't. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow just misses. God's going in, lands the wallop, hits the Gnar. Onto Maltix, the Tungening misses. Zap lands though. God's going to finish it off and then flash away right in front of Sundora, killing his AD carry out from under his eyes. Jonesy's just sticking around. He's like, man, I'm a 7-kill Syndra. No, okay, we're backing off then. Dragon about to spawn. Which dragon is it? It's another Stony Boy. So that second Mountain Dragon going to go over to STL. As GG solos that one out. And the best laid plans, I loved the idea that Vicious and Delicious were going for. They had a really solid idea of where they wanted to go with their macro plays, but STL just got one step ahead of them. Were able to get a couple of key dives off, able to defend a couple of towers that maybe they shouldn't have. That 2v2 in bot lane of Gnar and Syndra, killing Ashe and Morgana, I think was really the tipping point. And then after that, it was just the fight to try to stabilize as STL kind of ran away with that macro advantage. And now they finally stabilized, but it might be a little bit too late. 9,000 gold behind, 5 towers to 1, and really lack of control anywhere on that top side of the map with that inhibitor down. Now just getting that vision control on the blue side, they can, or on the red side, excuse me. Maybe looking to dive this this mid tier 2 tower, break that open. The steps are laid out now for STL. We're still not 20 minutes in. We still don't have a Baron on the table. It's a really difficult spot for any team to be in. We'll have to see if they can climb back. The double Earth Dragon really doesn't help out. They can just bust through these towers. They can bust through Baron once that spawns. And they have to worry about that wave of super minions. The Zerat portal is deployed in top lane to try to slow up the push of super minions heading into the base. Enchanted Crystal Arrow doesn't connect on anybody. And that's going to be... I mean, that's pretty much the initiation tool. Either that or maybe a Flash Dark Binding. But it's very difficult for for Vicious and Delicious to initiate fights. God has no trouble. He comes in. He doesn't miss the wallop. Gets the Gnar just connected. Poppy's going to save him. GG tries to follow up. Sandora is taken very low. Bad Wolf gets taken down by the Unleashed Power. 8th kill going over to Jonesy. And as the chat's going, the Pocket Pick support Jinx picks up his 9th assist of the game. I did miss the Super Mega Death Rocket. But now STL headed toward bot lane. At least 4 of them are headed toward bot lane. Nar's making a little trip toward top, I guess, to get some vision control. Teleport almost up for him, so whatever choice he makes, he can rejoin his team before too long. He steals the blue buff away from Sandora. When it rains, it pours sometimes, unfortunately. And now Vicious and Delicious trying to regather their base a little bit in shambles. Yeah, we really need to see them turtle. If they can pick a couple of people with ash arrows, maybe they have at least some sort of some path back into the game. But the way STL's playing this game, I don't know that there's much that can happen. But we shall continue. Sandora, they know where Sandora is, so this is a known quantity. And now the Baron started up. There's no vision at all for the blue team in this pit. No Miracle Steal going to happen unless the Enchanted Crystal Arrow comes in, but it doesn't. And that'll be a pretty clean Baron take. And now STL headed back for some final buys. We'll see what they round out with. Syndra, does she have enough for the Void Staff? Does not. Executioner's Calling picked up for Wing Nation as his last buy. That was the only item I actually saw come through there. It was mostly for health and mana. Inhibitor going to respawn before too long in bot lane, so they'll have a very clear path to push with this Baron buff. Sandora just fighting for any sort of jungle farm. He's got 142 farm, so that's not been the issue, is his jungle farm. He just hasn't been able to translate that into much tankiness, unfortunately. And GG has really showed up with his map pressure. Really got the ball rolling with those early ganks. Enchanted Crystal Arrow comes in, lands onto God, trying to chunk him out, but that's a great kick from GG. Knocks Mundo back through his team and just blows them up. Wing Nation now finally going to connect on a kill. That's only his second of the game. Gnar coming through. He is mini Gnar, but able to get some slows down. Has the Dead Man's Plate to try to slow him up just a little bit more. Poppy and God just tanking up the Nexus turrets without a care in the world. Inhibitor goes down in mid lane. Inhibitor going down in top lane. And Poppy's just going to eat up Dr. Mundo. Nom 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 nom. He's not Cho'Gath, but I guess it really doesn't matter. Nexus turret falls. There's a Zerat portal for some reason in there. God is still tanking the tower, and he's fine. He turned into Mega Gnar. Double kill picked up for GG. And the Nexus will fall. 2 really dominating wins for STL. In the middle, we saw an invade go really, really poorly and start to snowball the game for Vicious and Delicious. They capitalized really well. Yeah, this game we saw really, really good early pathing from GG. Able to blow flashes in top and mid, and then his laners, God and Jonesy, good enough to capitalize, get 2 solo kills, and really get the ball rolling. Really good game for STL. 24 kills to 2. The final total there in 23 minutes and 15 seconds. And that's going to do it here for the series. Team STL takes the victory 2-1. Let's go. We'll grab some stats after the game here. Really good performance across the board. I know who you guys all like when we do MVPs. My MVP of the series, at least personally, is going to be STL GG, captaining the Jarvan in games 1 and 2 and the Lee Sin in game 3. We saw his early jungle pathing in games 1 and 3 set up solo kills for his laners. We saw endless flag and drags connect. We saw really good Jarvan jacuzzis. We saw just really good early game skirmishing and a pretty Herculean kick there at the end of the game, knocking Lee Sin back through 3 members of his team, or knocking Mundo back through 3 members of his team to help secure the victory. So, congratulations to STL, up to 0-1 on the season. Vicious and Delicious had some moments of brilliance. Game 2, really, really good. They played around their win condition, which was picking the Jinx in bot lane. They got Jinx rolling. They got her a pentakill. Everything looked great in Game 2. In Game 3, they had a really good idea of what to do to come from behind. They set up the macro plays, but STL just got one step ahead of them, and they weren't able to rebound after losing 2 in the bot lane. So some things to work on for Vicious and Delicious, but definitely not out of it by any means. So yeah, congrats to STL. Thank you guys for watching the cast.